be some disturbance in Gokula. All right. Certainly, the advice was friendly and not false, so Nanda thought, there is some truth in it. Therefore, out of fear, he began to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is quite natural for a devotee in danger to think of Krishna, because he has no other shelter. When a child is in danger, he takes shelter of his mother or father. Similarly, a devotee is always under the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when he specifically sees some danger, he remembers the Lord very rapidly. After consulting with his demonic ministers, Kamsa instructed a witch named Putana, who knew the black art of killing small children by ghastly sinful methods, to kill all kinds of children in the cities, villages, and pasturing grounds. Such witches can play their black art only when there is no chanting or hearing of the holy name of Krishna. It is said that wherever there is chanting of the holy name of Krishna is done, even negligently, all bad elements, witches, ghosts, and dangerous calamities immediately disappear. Haribol. And this is certainly true of the place where the chanting of the holy name of Krishna is done seriously, especially in Vrindavana, when the Supreme Lord was personally present. Therefore, the doubts of Nanda Maharaj were certainly based on affection for Krishna. Actually, there was no danger from the activities of Putana, despite her powers. Such witches are called Khechari, which means they can fly in the sky. This black art of witchcraft is still practiced by some women in the remote northwestern side of India. They can transfer themselves from one place to another on the branch of an uprooted tree. Putana knew this witchcraft, and therefore she is described in the Bhagavatam as Khechari. Putana entered the county of Gokula, the residential quarter of Nanda Maharaj, without permission. Dressing herself just like a beautiful woman, she entered the house of Mother Yashoda. She appeared very beautiful, with raised hips, nicely swollen breasts, earrings, and flowers in her hair. She looked especially beautiful on account of her thin waist. She was glancing at everyone with her attractive looks and smiling face, and all the residents of Vrindavana were captivated. The innocent cowherd women thought that she was a goddess of fortune appearing in Vrindavana with a lotus flower in her hand. It seemed to them that she had personally come to see Krishna, who is her husband. Because of her exquisite beauty, no one checked her movement, and therefore she freely entered the house of Nanda Maharaj. Putana, the killer of many, many children, found baby Krishna lying on a small bed, and she could at once perceive that the baby was hiding his unparalleled potencies. Putana thought, this child is so powerful that he can destroy the whole universe immediately. Putana's understanding is very significant. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that he gives one necessary intelligence, and he also causes one to forget. Putana was immediately aware that the child whom she was observing in the house of Nanda Maharaj was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He was lying there as a small baby, but that does not mean that he was less powerful. The materialistic theory that God worship is anthropomorphic is not correct. No living being can become God by undergoing meditation or austerities. God is always God. Krishna as the child baby is as complete as he is as a full-fledged youth. The Mayavadi theory holds that the living entity was formerly God, but has now become overwhelmed by the influence of Maya. Therefore, they say that presently he is not God, but when the influence of Maya is taken away, then he again becomes God. This theory cannot be applied to the minute living entities. The living entities are minute parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are minute particles of sparks of the supreme fire, but are not the original fire or Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even from the beginning of his appearance in the house of Vasudeva and Devaki. Hari Bol.
Krishna showed the nature of a small baby and closed his eyes as if to avoid the face of Putana. This closing of eyes is interpreted and studied in different ways by devotees. Some say that Krishna closed his eyes because he did not like to see the face of Putana, who had killed so many children and who had now come to kill him. Others say that something extraordinary had been was being dedicated to her, and in order to give her assurance, Krishna closed his eyes so that she would not be frightened. And yet, others interpret in this way that Krishna appeared to kill the demons and give protection to the devotees, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Ranaya sadhum vinasya chakduskritam. The first demon is to be killed was a woman. According to Vedic rules, the killing of a woman, a brahmana, cows, or of a child is forbidden. Hold on, my screen just went out. Okay. Krishna is obliged to kill the demon Putana, and because killing a woman is forbidden according to Vedic Shastra, he could not help but close his eyes. Another interpretation is that Krishna closed his eyes because he simply took Putana to be his nurse. Putana came to Krishna just to offer her breast for the Lord to suck. Krishna is so merciful that even though he knew Putana was there to kill him, he took her as his nurse or mother. The seven kinds of mothers, according to Vedic injunctions, the real mother, the wife of a teacher, the spiritual master, the wife of a teacher or spiritual master, the wife of a king, the wife of a brahmana, the cow, the nurse, and the mother earth. Because Putana came to take Krishna on her lap and offer her breast milk to be sucked by him, she was accepted by Krishna as one of his mothers. This is considered to be another reason that he closed his eyes. He had to kill a nurse or mother, but his killing of his mother or nurse was no different from his love for his real mother or foster mother, Yashoda. He, we further understand from Vedic information that Putana was also treated as a mother and given the same facility as Yashoda. As Yashoda was given liberation from the material world, so Putana was also given liberation. When the baby Krishna closed his eyes, Putana took him on her lap, and excuse me, she did not know that she was holding death personified. If a person mistakes a snake for a rope, he dies. Similarly, Putana killed so many babies before meeting Krishna, but now she is accepting the snake that would kill her immediately. When Putana was taking baby Krishna on her lap, both Yashoda and Rohini were present, but they did not forbid her because she was so beautifully dressed and because she showed motherly affection toward Krishna, they could not understand that she was a sword within a decorated case. Putana had smeared a very powerful poison on her breast, and uh, immediately after taking the baby on her lap, she pushed her breastly nipple within his mouth, and she was hoping that as soon as he would suck her breast, uh, he would he would die. But baby Krishna was very quick to take the nipple in anger, and he sucked the poisoned milk along with the life air of the demon. In other words, Krishna simultaneously sucked the milk from her breast and killed her by sucking out her life. Krishna is so merciful, and because the demon Putana came to offer her breast milk to him, he fulfilled her desire and accepted her activity as motherly. But to stop her from further nefarious activities, he immediately killed her. And because the demon was killed by Krishna, she got liberation. And when Krishna sucked out her very breath, Putana fell down on the ground. She spread her arms and legs and began to cry, "Child, leave me, leave me." And she was crying loudly, perspiring, and her whole body became wet. May I continue from here?
Yes, Prabhu.
as she died screaming, there was a tremendous vibration both on earth and in the sky, in all directions, and people thought that thunderbolts were falling. Thus the nightmare of Putana, which was over. And she assumed her real feature as a demon. She opened her fierce mouth and spread her arms and legs all over. She felt exactly as Vista Vitra Asura when struck by the thunderbolt Indra. The long hair of her head was scattered all over her body. Her fallen body extended up to 12 miles and smashed 12 miles and smashed all trees into pieces, and everyone was struck with wonder upon seeing the gigantic body. Her teeth appeared uh, just like prolonged plowed rows. Her nostrils appeared like mountain caves. Her breasts appeared like small hills. Her hair was vast reddish um, um, was vast reddish bush. Her eye sockets appeared like blind wells. Her two thighs appeared like two banks of a river. Her hands appeared like two strongly constructed bridges, and her abdomen seemed like a dried up lake. All the cowherd men and women came was struck with awe and wonder upon seeing this. The tumultuous sound of her falling struck her in their brains and ears and made their hearts beat strongly. When the gopis saw Krishna fearlessly playing on the Putana's lap, they quickly came and picked him up. Mother Yashoda and Mother Yashoda, Rohini, and the elderly gopis immediately performed the auspicious rituals by taking the tail of the cow and circumambulating his body. The child was completely washed with the urine of a cow and the dust created by the hooves of the cows and thrown all over his body. This was all just to save little Krishna from future inauspicious accidents. This incident gave us a clear indication of how important the cow of a family, society, and living beings in the general. The transcendental body of Krishna does not require any protection, but to instruct us in the importance of the cow, the Lord was smeared all over with cow dung, washed with cow urine of a cow, and sprinkled with the dust upraised by the walking of cows. Hare Krishna. Anyone can read from here.
Hare Krishna. After this purificatory process, the gopis headed by Mother Yashoda and Rohini chanted 12 names of Vishnu to give Krishna's body full protection from all evil influences. They washed their hands and feet and sipped water 3 times, as is the custom before chanting mantra. They chanted as follows: My dear Krishna, may the Lord who is known as Maniman protect your thighs. May Lord Vishnu, who is known as Jagna, protect your legs. May Lord Achyuta protect your arms. May Lord Hayagriva protect your abdomen. May Lord Keshava protect your hearts. May Lord Vishnu protect your arms. May Lord Urukrama protect your face. May Lord Ishvara protect your head. May Lord Chakradhara protect your front. May Lord Gadadhara protect your back. May Lord Madhusudana, who carries a bow in his hand, protect your eyesight. May Lord Vishnu, with his conch shell, protect your left side. May the personality of Godhead Upendra protect you from above, and may Lord Tarksha protect you from below the earth. May Lord Haladra protect you from all sides. May the personality of Godhead known as Rishikesha protect all your senses. May Lord Narayana protect your breath, and may the Lord of the Sveta Dvipa, Narayana, protect your heart. May Lord Yogeshvara protect your mind. May Lord Krishnagarbha protect your intelligence, and may the Supreme Personality of Godhead protect your soul. While you are playing, may Lord Govinda protect you from all sides, and when you are sleeping, may Lord Madhava protect you from all danger. When you are working, may the Lord of Vaikunta protect you from falling down. When you are sitting, may the Lord of Vaikunta give you all protection. And while you are eating, may the Lord of all sacrifice give you all protection. Thus Mother Yashoda began to chant different names of Vishnu to protect the child Krishna's different bodily parts. Mother Yashoda was firmly convinced that she should protect her child from different kinds of evil spirits and ghosts, namely Dakinis, Yatudanis, Ushmandas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Vinayakas, Kotara, Revati, Jeshta, Putana, Matrakas, Unmadas, and similar other evil spirits who cause persons to forget their own existence and give trouble to the life, air, and senses. Yes, these demon names are really, really hard to pronounce. Scary names.
Mm. Wow.
Yes.
Sometimes they appear in dreams and cause much perturbation. Sometimes they appear as old women and suck the blood of small children. But oh Krishna, that's scary. But all such ghosts and evil spirits cannot remain where there is chanting of the holy name of God. Mother Yashoda was firmly convinced of the Vedic injunctions about the importance of cows and the holy name of Vishnu. Therefore, she took all shelter in the cows and the name of Vishnu just to protect her child Krishna. She recited all the names of Vishnu so that he might save the child. Vedic culture has taken advantage of keeping cows and chanting the holy name of Vishnu since the beginning of history. And persons who are still following the Vedic ways, especially the householders, keep at least 1 dozen cows and worship the deity of Lord Vishnu, who is installed in their house. The elderly gopis of Vrindavan were so absorbed in affection for Krishna that they wanted to save him. Although there was no need for although there was no need to, for he had already protected himself. They could not understand that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead playing as a child. After performing the formalities to protect the child, Mother Yashoda took Krishna and let him suck her own breast. When the child was protected by Vishnu mantra, Mother Yashoda felt that he was safe. In the meantime, all the cowherd men who went to Mathura to pay tax returned home and were struck with wonder at seeing the gigantic body of Putana. Nanda Maharaj recalled the prophecy of Vasudeva and considered him a great sage and mystic yogi. Otherwise, how could he have foretold an incident that happened during his absence from Vrindavan? After this, all the residents of Raja cut the gigantic body of Putana into pieces and piled it up with wood for burning. Imagine how huge pile that was burning.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
Mano Prabhu, Hare Krishna, you are muted.
I think all the trees she fell on, it made the job easy.
oh yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's true. But I was just thinking that how did this smell? And now just line is next line is telling about it. When all the limbs of Putana's body were burning, the smoke emanating from the fire created a good aroma. This aroma was due to her being killed by Krishna. This means that the demon Putana was washed of all her sinful activities and attained a celestial body. Here is an example of how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is all good. Putana came to kill Krishna, but because he sucked her milk, she was immediately purified, and her dead body attained a transcendental quality. Her only business was to kill small children. She was only fond of blood, but in spite of being envious of Krishna, she attained salvation because she gave her milk to him to drink. So what can be said of others who are affectionate to Krishna in the relationship of mother or father? The pure devotees always serve Krishna with great love and affection, for he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the super soul of every living entity. It is concluded, therefore, that even a little energy expanded in the service of the Lord gives one immense transcendental profit. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, Svalpamapyasya Dharmasya. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is so sublime that even a little service to Krishna, knowingly or unknowingly, gives one the greatest benefit. The system of worshipping Krishna by offering flowers from a tree is also beneficial for the living entity who is confined to the bodily existence of that tree. When flowers and fruits are offered to Krishna, the tree that bore them also receives much benefit indirectly. Yeah, these, I know a few devotees who are like vegan devotees, and they say that, oh, I'm not taking any milk. They are like this. London, there is few, and they don't want to
Yeah.
cause. I talked with him, and he was like, "Oh, you don't know how much suffering they go through," and he's always sharing this, and I'm trying to like be like, don't you understand this, that they're gonna go through the suffering anyways, but if you want to help them and give some benefit for that suffering, you should offer the milk and not some
Yeah.
tofu or soy
And
milk.
it's not about becoming a vegetarian, it's about following Krishna's orders. I mean, if Krishna ate meat, we would also eat meat. I mean, Srila Prabhupada said like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true.
Krishna
Right.
himself drinks milk. I mean,
Yeah.
But like here in America, like 100%, I try to drink A2 milk. But here in America now they're putting fish oil in
Yeah.
their. Have you heard of
Yes.
this? Like
Yes, bro.
this some nonsense. Like for like
In
some.
America, that is hard. There is so many like you have to source the proper milk. So here it's like here they are not doing that yet, and here only like government can sell milk, so it's really regulated. But yeah,
How
in
about
America
you?
there's. Do you have like many brands there? Is there like tons of brands or like few?
I mean, there's a lot of brands, but they're following the same direction.
Yes, bro.
Fish oil.
Oh, Krishna. That
Fish
is
oil
not
is so
that
disgusting. I did not know that until Vijay Chaitanya Prabhu said that in the group chat that they're putting fish oil in the milk.
Is there any way to get like from farms like straight?
Yes, I can get from farm straight, or I can get A2 milk from India, like from the Indian cows.
Yes.
Nityananda Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances. All glory to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna,
Dandavat pranams, everyone.
Prabhu. Dandavat pranam, Jai Prabhu.
Dandavat pranam.
Yes,
Very nice. I was listening to a cut off, but I was listening to most of it from the beginning.
You will.
Okay. I was just like, no matter how many times you read this, it's just always fascinating. Like Mother Yashoda is praying to Lord Vishnu. She doesn't even consider Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead. So it makes me think that the closer we get to Krishna, the more we'll understand that he's our friend, or that we have a relationship with him in some way, and that we'll forget all ways of friendship. The actual meaning, or from what I understand, like Brijvasis, they give blessings. So in the beginning, when we come into Krishna consciousness, we ask, "Oh Krishna, please give us blessing." We go and take darshan of the Lord. Then as we progress in spiritual life, one has this understanding that we go and exchange darshan with the Lord. As much as I want to see the Lord is also want to see me. And when you go to all these mandirs and onto all the temples in Vraja, and then eventually you get to the point where you go to exchange darshan with the Lord, but you go and give blessings, not to ask, give me something, my Lord. We go and bless you. May I always bless you. May you always be blessed, like Radha and Krishna always be blessed to be together. Krishna Balaram, may you always be blessed to always continue your pastimes, protected.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. This because there comes a new level for them, because the Yoga Maya covers the part. Because when we read these stories, we know always that Krishna is gonna win anyways. Krishna is gonna win. We already know that. But because they don't know who Krishna is.
Yes.
So there is a new level for them, because it's like for us, like first time, hearing these stories, there might be like the feeling like what's gonna happen. But when we hear more and we understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality, then we know we have this bias towards Krishna always winning, that it's sure that Krishna is always gonna beat the demons. But the mother of Krishna, she doesn't have this. She is like worried for Krishna. So they have different level.
Yes. It's beautiful actually to have that feeling of understanding that Krishna is, we have a deep relationship with him. Yeah, that's really magical. So, I mean, like I pray all of us, everyone, all the devotees get to that stage. I mean, it can only be experienced in Goloka Vrindavan. So, pray that all of us can experience that once
Yes,
in this
Prabhu.
lifetime.
Yes, and it's that's like it's many times said, like in Sundar Gopal Prabhu's in the Q&A session also, that it's possible for everyone if they just follow, because it's really like one has to like follow the orders that Prabhupada gave and be tolerant and just go on. Whatever comes, he just tries to follow his best,
Yeah.
and that's sure to come then, that one will get this.
Mm.
Because it's sure if one follows and only tries that.
And you see, another thing is that I've realized one beautiful that because we always, I mean, you read this pastimes over and over again, but we can look at everybody else's perception. Like when Putna entered into Gokul, entered into
Yes,
Vraj.
Prabhu.
So look at Mother Yashoda's, how she was taken on. Oh, who's this beautiful woman? Everybody was looking at, oh wow,
Yes, Prabhu.
she must be,
Yes.
a saint. Their mood was like, wow, from, Mother Yashoda was like, can you imagine this woman is so amazing, and let her into the nursing room, and to actually breastfeed Krishna. So her mood was like she sees no faults in anyone,
Yes, Prabhu.
like that. So that was actually quite amazing.
This is nice point.
Wow.
Also, Putana, I mean, we all know the story about the Putana gurus and how they come in disguise, to actually to actually kill one's bhakti with the poison. But, she was a devotee in her last life. Actually, well, her last appearance or last life before she became Putana she was the sister of Bali Maharaj.
Hmm.
And when she looked upon Krishna, she was having this emotions and feelings of how she wishes that she could be the mother of such a beautiful boy as Lord Vamana. So
Interesting.
so when she actually came into Putna, that's how she became. And so Krishna granted a wish. Actually, Lord Vamana granted her boon in Krishna Lila, that she can actually come and be as a mother. And it's very fascinating that Putna, as a demon, she also got entrance into Goloka Vrindavan as a maidservant of Mother Yashoda. Not only as, like, when demons normally get killed by Krishna, they go to Vaikuntha.
Yes,
They get liberated. But Putna, she gets the association in Goloka Vrindavan, in a relationship as Vatsalya Bhav. So
yes,
this is also how merciful Krishna is.
yes,
That
Prabhu.
even if you become a demon, but because you have some little affection or you want to serve Krishna a little bit, Krishna can even give you a place in Goloka Vrindavan.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
that was fascinating.
Yes, and yeah, she was only killing children during his. She didn't do any service during that Putana life. Only service she did was she wanted to kill Krishna, and she had already killed so many
Yeah.
children. So still getting this kind of liberation is it's hard to imagine.
Yeah, she was a witch. So according to ours, well, in Vedic injunctions, there's white magic, there's black magic, and there's red magic. So she's practicing black magic. That's why she was a witch.
Yes.
Whereas I think there was a saying in our class once that when she was killing the children, before she killed the children, she invoked fear into them, made them scared, because she actually thrived off that. She actually enjoys that. So she first instilled fear in them, and then she killed them and drank their blood and ate them. Because just like how in this material world we can look how demons are that eat meat. When animals are killed, before they kill the animals always have fear, and then they're killed. And then there's a chemical that actually goes through the body of that animal that's called adrenochrome.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
fear-based
right.
chemical. So when people eat that meat or eat that flesh, they feel more scared, they feel more insecure, they feel more. So for them to continue, they actually get happy by eating the flesh of animals. So that's what I heard in one of the classes, that this is what she has done as well.
Yes, this is interesting. Yes, because I used
Yeah.
to before read about these things also, that because in the material topics there is like these conspiracy theories that there is these persons still in these modern times that do this, that they gather children and then they torture them and then they
Yeah.
harvest the blood and use.
Yes, horrible things.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, they're from some. They have some Putana influences clearly. Now we know very
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue this chapter. Who wants to read?
You just yes.
Yeah, so I can read.
Yes,
When
Prabhu.
Sure,
flowers
Prabhu,
and
yes.
okay, when flowers and fruits are offered to Krishna, the tree that bore them also receives much benefit indirectly. The archana process of worshipping procedure is therefore beneficial to everyone. Krishna is worshipable by the great demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva. And Putna was so fortunate that the same Krishna played in her lap as a little child. The lotus feet of Krishna, which are worshipped by great sages and devotees, were placed on the body of Putana. People worship Krishna and offer food, but automatically he sucked the milk from the body of Putana. Devotees therefore pray that if simply by offering something as an enemy, Putana got so much benefit, then who can measure the benefit of worshipping Krishna in love and affection? One should only worship Krishna if one has no other reason, then so much benefit awaits the worshipper. Although Putana was an evil spirit, she gained elevation just like the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is clear that the cows and the elderly gopis who offered milk to Krishna were also elevated in the transcendental position. Krishna can offer anyone anything, from liberation to anything materially conceivable. Therefore, they cannot be any doubt of the salvation of Putana, whose bodily milk was sucked by Krishna for such a long time. And how can there be any doubt about the salvation of the gopis, who are as fond of Krishna? Undoubtedly, all the gopis and cowherd boys and cows who served Krishna in Vrindavana with love and affection were liberated from the miserable condition of material existence. When all the inhabitants of Vrindavana smelled the good aroma from the smoke of the burning Putna, they inquired from each other, "Where is?"
Am I muted? Am I
Yeah.
disconnected? I think you're muted, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Radhesham. Sorry, I could cut it off there. You can continue if you want.
Okay. Where's the good flavor coming from? While conversing, they came to understand that it was the fumes of the burning Putana, and they were very fond of Krishna. And as soon as they heard that the demon Putana was killed by Krishna, they offered blessings to a little child out of affection. After burning of Putana, Nanda Maharaj came home and immediately took up the child on his lap and began to smell his head. In this way, he was quite satisfied with his little child, and was saved from the great calamity. From this great calamity, Srila Sukha Goswami has blessed all persons who had heard the narration of the killing of Putana. They will surely attain the favor of Govinda. Thus, the ends of Bhaktivedanta purport of the 6th chapter of Krishna, Putana killed.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Haribo.
Can you imagine Srila Prabhupada actually translated? He wrote this. I mean, if they, I don't know if anybody has heard, there's a dictation by Prabhupada. You can listen to the original. Prabhupada dictates Krishna book. That
Yeah.
is the most amazing, most beautiful, translation that I mean, for me that I've ever heard. So Prabhupada always recommends reading Krishna book before sleeping, having our glass of milk and then reading Krishna book.
Yes.
But also to listen to Prabhupada's dictation is wonderful. How many of you
So
have heard?
Prabhu, the whole dictation is available, right?
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
is it?
Haribo.
Yes.
I'll send you a link for that.
I believe it's in Prabhupada Vani because
Yes. Yeah, it's also the Prabhupada books
Haribo.
as well. I'll send
It's
you a
like
link for
audio
that.
book of Krishna book.
Yes.
Oh, is there really like something like
This is a nice idea to hear.
Yeah,
it.
there's details. So you can hear Prabhupada's dictation. You know, Prabhupada had this recorder. So after every sentence, he'll stop the recorder and he'll start again.
Yes, yes.
So you can hear it
Wow.
directly. Like Prabhupada is directly translating. Krishna is talking to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is it's flowing like
Yes,
nectar.
yes, exactly.
It's coming out.
Yes, I didn't
So-
know about this even.
Otherwise, how to explain how many books he was translated for 12
Yeah.
years? I mean, it's impossible for an ordinary man.
Yes, if I knew this, I would have listened to this. This is amazing.
Wow, Haribo. Yes,
Yeah,
need
it's
to
I
listen.
would definitely listen to this. Or no, let's say
Wow.
I didn't know that there's like dictation like
Because
this.
I was looking for audiobooks, but they were narrated by some other devotees.
you
But
can hear the
you
whole
see,
Krishna
this
book.
is narrated by Srila Prabhupada
Yes,
himself.
Yes, I
Very
want to
cool.
hear all this.
Sixth chapter and
Krishna, there's it there. Yeah, that's the one.
Wow, wow.
So you can listen to that.
Oh my gosh, all 90 chapters. Oh my
Yeah.
Oh, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Wow.
Yes, this is amazing find. I
Yes.
don't know. I would have never found this by myself.
I
Yes.
will never
All
know.
glory to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, you all
Oh,
should
Lord.
definitely listen to this.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, definitely. I will listen.
Direct association. Like you
Wow.
cannot believe.
My goodness. I'm going to try to.
Prabhupada's feelings and emotion, his bhav is there, everything is there.
Oh my goodness.
Haribo.
Yes, it's need to be shared to the group also.
Mm.
Because people have asked me about this audiobook thing, about Krishna book, and I didn't know that if I knew, I would have recommended this always.
And even I believe in the 24th chapter about lifting Govardhan Hill, I mean, there's a change. I mean, Srila Prabhupada narrated some kind of thing, but it was not published in the books later on. I mean, it's about cows and people that people nowadays are basically animals, but it was not there in the book.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, I will start to listen to these one by one every evening.
Yes.
Mm.
Do that. Have a hot
Yeah.
glass of saffron milk, like our Prabhupada says, and then listen to Krishna book, or you can read Krishna book, and then you can sleep in there. You'll dream about the wonderful
Yeah.
pastimes. And then the Prabhupada says, 24 hours you'll be engaged. And then, so the point, like life, like one's devotional service should be so much, you should be so steady in your devotional service activities that when death comes, you do not know that you have died
Yes, Prabhu.
because you're continuously practicing devotional service. So whether you die or you're still alive, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
So you should be concentration on that point.
Yes, Prabhu. I heard one example of this, that it feels like the devotee,
10,000
it feels like the devotee just dropped something, and then he just goes on. The body just dropped, and he didn't like it. It was just little thing.
Yeah, it's like waking up the next day and then you just have a spiritual body. That's basically it, and you continue in your devotional seva.
Yes,
Your
Prabhu.
services.
So it's like 10,000 scorpions stinging for an ordinary person, but for a devotee, he just drops it.
Yeah, for devotee doesn't feel that. It's a relief actually from this bondage. For devotee, it's bliss. It's actually it's the most pleasing moment it's described. Okay, death is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto.
Yeah.
But for a devotee, it's the best moment of your life.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because you know how they say that Prabhupada says, whatever you think of at the time of death, that's what you will attain in your next life. So
Yeah.
just like how modern scientists and everybody also say that, like, you know, people have also proclaimed, yeah, like your life flashes before your eyes. And that your brain stays awake for about 7 to 8 minutes before the soul leaves the body, before the consciousness actually goes.
Yes, Prabhu.
So that's true. So life is like a show reel. That's the problem. That's what I'm understanding. Life is like a show reel. Have you ever seen those old movies or that old show reel that they have those big clips that they put into those big movie cameras, and then there's the
Yes.
clips. So life is like that.
Yeah.
So every moment that we are performing devotional service, that's all images that we are just gathering and experiences that we're gathering. And when the movie stops, or when when life comes to an end, whatever it stops on, like, you know, once you put the video recorder off, it'll still spin for some time, and whatever it stops on, that will be your last moment. So if you fill
Yeah,
up your
exactly.
life with devotional service experiences and bhakti, then you stand a higher chance.
Yes, Prabhu.
Very
It's
nice
like
example. Thank you, bro.
so that passing of the body, that's like because of the training, the concentration and training in Trinada Pisanishana, yes?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the passing is the most blissful point, because then you get in your spiritual body. You get into go to your spiritual body. It'll just be like, the explanation is like, when you wake up in the spiritual world, it's just like a blink of an eye. It's like a moment. It's like you fell asleep and you had a nightmare, but you'll remember everything that you've been through in this material world, but for all those lifetimes. But it'll be like a drop. It'll just be like a blink of an eye. It'll just be, it is very quick, so you won't feel anything, because you actually go back to our actual position that you are supposed to be in serving Krishna.
Mm.
Yes, and Srila Prabhupada even said that even if you cannot remember Krishna at the time of death, I mean, Krishna will help you to remember. But that does not mean that we,
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
rely on
devotees used
this.
to say, I think there's a bhajan that's also
we
like
have
that.
to try our best.
Yes, there's a bhajan. I don't know, in Narottam Das Thakur, I don't know who's singing. I forgot who's singing. There's a bhajan that's also like that. That I remember you now, Krishna. Please take my life now, so I can, because now my body is fit and healthy. Now I can
Yes,
remember
yes.
you.
This is the king.
So let me go now.
Kulakshekar.
Yeah,
Yes, Mukunda Mala Stotram.
Yes,
very
Prabhu.
good. Yes. So the bhajan is there.
Yes.
Please let me, please take my life now, because I remember you.
Yes.
Why wait until the time of death when everything
Very
is
nice
confused and my
prayer.
body is going through this turmoil?
Yes, this one.
Mm.
You can listen to it. Okay.
This is Sanskrit verse.
अद्दैव विशतु मे मानस राजहंस प्राण प्रयाण समय कफवात पित्तौ कंठावरोधन विधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते कृष्ण तदीय पद पंकज पंजनान्तम् अद्दैव विशतु मे मानरस राजहंस प्राण प्रयाण समय कफवात पित्तौ कंठावरोधन विधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते.
Yes, this, but here's
You.
not the translation. Prabhupada has also made for this where he translate and tells the purport. That's really nice. Important.
Just read it.
Oh, Krishna. At this moment, let the royal swan of my mind enter the tangled stem of your lotus feet. How will it be possible for me to remember you at the time of death, when my throat will be choked up with mucus, bile, and air?
Yes, Prabhu.
So the point of death is, it says that the body gets to like 108 degrees. So it's also significant, the number 107, 108 degrees. and that all the holes in the body become blocked. It becomes, the feeling is it becomes very hot, like you in a burning building, and then you cannot escape.
Yes, Prabhu.
So that description is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. I think I've heard it, but yeah, it's very gruesome. But for a devotee, it's beautiful because that's the time that we actually have to escape.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada gave us everything, like so beautiful.
What's this?
Yeah, Mano Prabhu, you can read it out.
Okay.
Right.
So if you become Krishna conscious once, even if at the time you're so-called unconscious, still Krishna is with you. He is not forgetful. He is not forgetful. Therefore, he will give you the proper results. Don't think at the time, at that time of death, because you are so completely out of consciousness. Therefore, there's frustration. No, there's no frustration. There's no frustration because your activities are already recorded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated within your heart. So therefore, there's no question of frustration. You just practice while you are good in health, while you are good, while you are in good body, while you are in good consciousness, just by practicing this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. The result is guaranteed. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 7, verse 22 to 26. March 10th, 1967. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so the path is guaranteed for us, all the devotees. But there's a long road. So like it's always blissful and it's never ending.
That is a keeper. Thank you for that, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Wow. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving us this. So,
Yes,
we got another one.
Yeah, I know only 2 references about this.
Okay. May I read this one?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu.
When somebody is dying and his external consciousness is completely absorbed in all kinds of terrible bodily symptoms, how is it that a devotee remembers Krishna? What is actually happening that he is able to remember Krishna? Prabhupada. Devotee generally remembers Krishna, but even if he cannot, Krishna will help him. Devotee, Prabhupada, this is guarantee. Kunteya Pranjita Nahim Bhaktaha Pranashyanti. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm most likely wrong. Because he is devotee, because he is devotee for material condition, he could not remember, but Krishna remembers, yes, that he has done so much for me.
Yes, Prabhu. Ribo. Also remember.
Now we have to the.
From Nimanita Prabhu's class, he explained this, that, yeah, if one has even material like desires left, then he must continue where he left, because, the desires are still there. Like he has planned that I want to build this or create something like this or do this or that. So the plans are there. So when he takes a new body, he will continue from what the plans were there. If one still has some plans, so that's why we have to nullify our material plans. So we don't have any material plans left, because if we have to complete those plans. So that's important.
Yeah. Yesterday I listened to a morning walk where Srila Prabhupada said that even if you are 99.9% pure, but you have some small portions of material desire, so Maya is so wonderful that she will provide you a body, to fulfill those desires. So you see how strict.
Yes, bro.
we should be.
And the 99%, he won't lose any of the 99%, but still he has to come back with that 99%
Yes.
until all the it's 100%.
Yeah, I mean, even Bilva Mangal Thakur, he was, I mean, he was in Bhava, I mean, preliminary stage before, I mean, Prema. Still, he fell down.
Yes, bro. Yes, I
Wow.
still have a long road. There is
Yes.
a long
Road.
way to go.
And it can be immediate as well. That's
Yes,
the amazing part. It can be immediate. Wow.
So yeah, the whole point is like was to understand as you progress in spiritual life, and when one reaches the stage of Bhava, there is 9 stages. There's actually 16 stages until Nitya Vrindavan, but there's 9 stages in this material world that we practice. And when one reaches the stage of Bhava, then that's when one, has to identify the eternal Braja Swarup, the Siddha Pranali, the eternal form in the actual spiritual world, and then act in that accordance, in that devotional service towards the activities in the spiritual world and practice like that. And the thing is, like I always think, if you've got a long way to go, we try for 100% to become Krishna consciousness. We're talking about percentages. Just try 100% to become Krishna conscious. Like aim for the stars, but even if we reach the moon, so even if we get 1%, it's only 99 more lives basically. It'll be a very short time in the space of things. So we just try our best to reach 100%. But if we cannot, and even if we just make 1% progress, it's still only 99 lives left that we have to, and we have the same attitude.
Yeah, best thing is that it's never lost.
Yes.
That's the best thing about it, because the material progress, if one wants to become like
Oh
great
yeah.
athlete or something, he might have that skill for like 4 lives. He might build it up for 5 lives, but it's not forever. He's gonna at some point lose all that skill. But with the spiritual thing, you cannot lose. So that's the
Yeah,
best.
and next life he will scratch. I mean, he will start from the scratch. I mean,
Yes.
A, B, C.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Prabhupada says it perfectly. Like even like people are after money. People are so like Prabhupada says the most intelligent person is one who is Krishna conscious, because they understand the ultimate goal of life. Everybody thinks the ultimate. Most people in this world, the majority of the population, think that money and having wealth and having a comfortable life is the goal of life, and they don't realize that what's going to happen at the time of death, what's going to happen afterwards. They're planning for the retirement. They're planning to retire earlier. They're planning for the retirement, but they're not planning for their next life. They don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Yes, Prabhu.
I mean,
So all the material things we could ever have. That's why like Prabhupada says, simple Vinaya thinking. That's the most important.
Yeah,
It's
because
actually very important.
you only live once. I mean, they stick to this principle.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
Prabhu.
crazy.
They say that, but they don't.
But for our devotees who are on this path of bhakti, we also live once. We can also say, yes, we also live once, because we're not coming back. We're trying to, we can also get out of there.
Yes.
Mm. Oh man.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and
Like
they are
yes.
also this thing that when they are endeavoring for these things, they always think that, oh, now I'm doing this, now I'm gonna achieve this, and they never understand this, that no matter how much effort they put, it's already predestined what they are gonna get. So it doesn't matter what they're doing this life. They are not gonna affect anything that they are gonna gain in this life. They can only affect the future lives. But everything for this life is predestined. They can't gain €1 more than.
So that's
Even though,
another question that I want to ask.
Yes, bro.
So there's a question now, just regarding it. Sorry if I cut you off, but it's just relating to what you're saying. So the destiny, and I mean, like we all have our understanding on this, but let's just dive into this part of it. So especially when we are preaching, so the destiny and the fate of one is already guaranteed. Prabhupada says so.
Yes.
So what is the point of making any endeavor in the spiritual world? And why do we also, as devotees, still are not surrendered, where we also try and make some alternative arrangements, whereas Krishna will provide if we just do our duty? That's the question.
Oh, That's because you're the architect of your destiny. People say that I'm predestined for hell or predestined for heaven, so why should I even try? Actually, we have minute independence. God doesn't touch that. It's based on what we choose with that minute independent causes our destiny to happen. So based on our actions, based on our choices, then we can be an architect of our destiny.
Here is a nice room conversation.
Mm.
That naturally we cannot violate the destiny, but if we do it, then we suffer. But our destiny can be changed by Krishna. When we are Krishna conscious, that we do not do, but Krishna will do. Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva pape bhyo mokshayishyami, 1866. I shall give you protection. So that change takes place for my protection by Krishna. Yes, so Krishna changes destinies. And then Krishna keeps this little token. You know, Krishna doesn't completely erase our karma. He keeps this little token. That is, when we do something wrong, we get a teaching about it. But it's not a karmic reaction anymore. It's more like a little teaching.
Mm.
What is this one? Anyone who surrenders to Krishna, his destiny is changed by the omnipotency of God. He takes charge of the devotee and guides him how the devotee can go back home, back to God. And this is mercy of God. Here. Oh, here is. Oh, this heart plant thing was nice. Life cannot be prolonged by heart transplant. You cannot increase the duration of life. One can perhaps give some relief to disease. That is another thing, but the duration of life is destined. From the dead body, one cannot bring life. Similarly, it may appear that one is prolonging the duration of life by medicines or heart transplant, but that is not the case. If one lives 4 years after having a heart transplant, then by nature's law, he was destined to live 4 years with or without having had a heart transplant. So what is the value of heart transplant? Only by the yogic process can one prolong the life. By stopping the breathing process, keeping in samadhi, the breath period is not being misused, and he increases the lifespan. Therefore, destiny can only be changed by devotional service or yoga. Otherwise, what you must suffer, and what you must enjoy, you must enjoy. For a devotee, however, whatever it may be, he takes the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. And if by Krishna's grace destiny is changed, then it's all right. Nature's law will work. We cannot change that, but Krishna, the supreme controller, he can change it. Just like if a man is sentenced to be hanged, no one, not even the judge, can pardon him, except the king or president. He only can excuse the offender. Similarly, I have to execute Krishna's order, and suppose I have to suffer to execute this order. Therefore, devotional service and the devotee is so dear to Krishna. The devotee is prepared to die at any moment, but he simply wants to be engaged in Krishna's service. Haribol. Yes, this is nice.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, it's
Prabhu,
beautiful.
I shared a relevant thing on Telegram. I mean, about free will and this. Yeah. This is very nice.
I think what is it? Another argument would be like, okay, it's my free will. I have free will, okay, but I don't even know how to use it. You know,
that's
like,
why
what's
Krishna tells you, I mean, Sarvat Karman Parityaja. I mean, this is exactly the thing I'm shared.
Actually, that
can
is
somebody
beautiful.
read it?
Yeah, the Prabhupada says that so Bhagavad Gita is based on this whole on this whole faith on Shraddha. So in the beginning, Krishna tells Arjuna, you have to fight, and then Arjuna is like, no, I'm not gonna fight. With my family, what's the point of enjoying the kingdom with all the bloodshed and everything? So then Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita to him. And at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, now you understand this whole Bhagavad Gita. Now you understand what I've said. Still, it's your choice. What do you want to do? He still gives him a choice.
Yeah.
Still gives him a choice.
Now do as you wish.
So you could still make a decision. It's because that's free will for us. I mean, free will, that's where love is, because that's where prema bhakti lies in the free will, in the choices that we make.
Yeah, you cannot force someone to love you.
Yeah. So like destiny is very, so Krishna will make all arrangements, like our Prabhupada is saying, Krishna will make all arrangements for us. But still, at the end of the day, it's our choice. It's like, for example, I can come here to, I'm here in Sri Vrindavan Dham, and there's many people that's coming to Vraja, but some of them are engaged in other activities that are not devotional service. So you can have all the facility, you can have all, Krishna can bless you with everything. But if you do not have I would say the internal, I'd say the adhikar, the love, the surrender to take what Krishna is giving, and you make the choice to engage yourself in the actual process, then it's lost.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, I heard about. I heard some conversation or somewhere that those who go to these holy places and just to enjoy and to live off the fruits of the holy place, they become like monkeys of the holy place later.
Yeah, it's very bad.
That's
they become monkeys and dogs and animals. Prabhupada says
also
that.
to become monkey in Vrindavan, that's also good because they.
But yes, very auspicious. Prabhupada says that's the last life. So if somebody does wrong, there's a boasting. The easiest way to go, let's say the easiest way, but there's one way.
Yeah,
You
sounds
can also
like
go
a
to
shortcut.
Yeah, you can also go to hell as well. Vrindavan is a beautiful place. It's, if you leave your body in Vrindavan, you automatically, you guaranteed basically a good birth in your next life. But even a monkey, Prabhupada says, like Prabhupada was trying to not to promote. Prabhupada was just like, even if you cause some sin, some aparad in Vrindavan, because aparad here is it's so very sensitive.
Yeah.
And still, you get an animal body, and animals suffer a lot here.
Yeah.
You get an animal body, and then your next life you go to Boma Lila, you go back home, back to Krishna, but you still have to suffer for all of your karma. But everything comes in one lifetime, so it's like condensed. It's condensed.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Subramanian Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Once I heard Prabhupada say that in Vrindavan, whatever devotional service we do, it is magnified by a large amount. It is magnified by 100 times. But even if we commit some sin, that is also magnified by 100 times.
Yes, exactly.
We have to be very careful while in Vrindavan Dham.
Yes, Prabhu.
Very good.
Is everybody there?
Raise your
cut off from time to time.
That's why Prabhupada did not recommend anybody to stay in Vrindavan Dham for more than 5 days. Just come, visit, go to all the temples, and then take the blessings of the acharyas, and then it's like spiritual charging up. That's all Prabhupada would say, like once in a while, maybe once in 6 months or once in a year, you come to Vrindavan Dham, then spiritually charge yourself, and then go wherever you are and start preaching. So his plan was to create pockets of Vrindavan throughout the world, like embassies of Vrindavan, rather.
Embassies of Vrindavan around the world.
Yeah, Vrindavan is spiritual kingdom. So spiritual kingdom has having embassies throughout.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is what Prabhupada's aim is, to create spiritual embassies.
Yes, we need one embassy to Finland also.
We have here in America and like West Virginia, but I would say we need one in Philadelphia and Texas, all over the states actually.
Yes, Prabhu.
All over the world, Prabhu. From the dense forests of Brazil to the vast open deserts of the Sahara, everybody needs.
Evil.
Everybody needs. Nobody must be, Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it's going to happen. But it is our choice whether to take part in it or not. Coming back to the thing of choice. It's our choice whether we take part in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement or not. But it is going to happen nevertheless.
It's going to happen regardless.
Have you found that verse, Prabhu 63, I believe, about as you wish as you do?
Which one?
63.
Yeah, the last line goes like this.
No, I mean 1863. Yeah.
1863.
Oh, yes, it's this one.
Yeah.
No, not that word. It's after this. I think it's after Sarvodharman Paritejya.
I mean, which
You just
verse?
check from 67 onwards.
Oh,
Why don't
Like
we use
the verse
Prabhupada
ends
books?
like this. Yathechasi tathaku.
Yeah, she has.
The verse
Yeah,
ends
this is
like
the
this.
verse.
Yathechasi tathaku.
This is the one. I mean, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yathechasi tathaku. Verse number 60?
63.
63, is it?
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, 63.
I was
right.
also thinking that it will, I mean,
Right.
after 66.
Can we just check with PrabhupadaBooks.com or Prabhupada Bani or Prabhupada.io? Because I think the database is different from.
Yeah, just for convenience.
Yeah.
Yes, Pramo. Because it's usually Google search gives this.
Yeah,
Oh.
gives the first. Right.
Either way. It's
And you know,
Also,
it's
Prabhupada.io.
And then Arjuna,
it has these weird things always, like these marks.
Yeah, sometimes this happens.
They should
can
do
check.
it like properly. They should do this, rework the whole thing and do it
I
properly.
think Sami Prabhu, to fix this, you will have to download some fonts into the PC.
Hmm.
Like some fonts you
Yeah.
have to download and install. Like,
Okay.
and then after that, if you refresh the page, these those marks will not come. And I think you can use Prabhupada.io. In that, these marks will
Yeah,
not be there.
it also contains original books.
Yeah.
But basically, we know which Sanskrit is this.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
Yeah.
it's not a big
true.
deal to have those phones.
Okay, Haribol, now we need to read six Astakam prayers.
Haribol.
Evil.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritaswadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Nam namakari paudan nitisara saktis takta pitani amitasma nena kalaha ita tushita bakipa bhagavama mapi deva mitti samihajani nanuragaha.
Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnana amanina manadena kirtaniyaha sada harihi.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहैतुकी
अयि नन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितां मां विषमे भवां पुदौ कृप तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय.
Nitanana bro? Oh, okay. Nayanam kalar ashudarya, padanam katkarudagriya, pulakin nichitam vapukata naman tavanama grahe bhavishati.
Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam gavinda virahena me.
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विधातुलं पतो मत्प्राणानातस्तु स एव नापरः.
Evil.
Vivo.
Glory to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the doubts accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge and increases the transcendental ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render
Sorry,
all
I've been having connection problems.
No problem, Babu.
No, bro.
And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and one should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one should chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrential rains, and I'm feeling vacant, all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Hare Krishna, Sri Shiksastakam
Jai.
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 Jai, Sri Nityananda
Jai.
Prabhu ki Jai, Sri Krishna
Jai.
Prabhu Jai,
Jai.
Jagadguru Shila
Jai.
Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada
Jai.
Jai,
Jai.
Jai Gaur
Jai.
Premanand, Sri
Hari,
Hari
Hari,
Bol.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai,
Of course, it's Sadhu Sangha.
Thank you
Jai.
so much for this kind assistance.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for this
Thank you so
association. It was
Very
amazing.
nice to
much.